Let's get ourselves connected. Let's get ourselves connected. Honey, let's do it right. Let's get ourselves connected. Connect with you, all right. Let's get ourselves connected. Gotta get yourself connected.
Coming up on the show, we'll take a look at 2 apps to give your iPhone 4's photos that extra sizzle. Also, video on an SLR. It's here on Canon 7D, and we've got a how-to on shooting some amazing slow-mo footage. We'll also have a look at Paint.net and Flickr in our tech overhaul. You won't want to miss this episode. Last century, if you wanted to take a photograph, you would have had to use that old-fashioned technology called film.
Ah, yes, the film era, back when people drove gasoline-powered vehicles and watched that thing called a TV set.
Okay, well, maybe the world of today isn't as different as the world of yesterday, but we do have a few more newer innovations. One of them being able to digitize your old photos.
And today we're going to take a look at Kim. She found an old dusty box full of photos and slides. Let's take a look at her email.
Dear GetConnected, I have a ton of old slides that I don't know what to do with. Is there a way I can print them, or am I stuck having to haul out my projector every time I want to view them? Kim.
Well, we'll show Kim how she can store photos, share them online, and even go through the process of touching them up.
And she won't have to wait an hour at the grocery store to see the results. Let's get started. Well, we read Kim Lang's email. We're now in her home. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
I know you're obviously into photography. I've had a look at some of your gear. You've got a nice digital SLR here, so you kind of get the digital space.
Yes, yeah.
So what's going on here, Kim? I'm seeing like literally hundreds of slides and negatives and old photos.
Mm-hmm. All my lost memories in a big pile.
So
I need help.
Yeah, clearly. So, I mean, this is just one of your boxes. How many old negatives and slides do you have?
I don't even know. Hundreds, thousands maybe.
And when is the last time you looked at some of these here? I mean, you even got like vacation slides here as well.
Right. I looked at them once in 1989, right after I had took them.
Is that what you did? You basically look them in once and then put the date down?
Yeah, well, it's a big pain to get a slide projector. I don't even know if they have them around to get. I don't own one, so I would love to be able to look at all my memories in an easier way.
Well, you know what? We're going to show you how to do that. We've got some really cool technology that'll make it easy to get into a computer and then share with your friends and family. Let's go and have a look here.
Okay.
This is a dedicated slide scanner.
Okay.
You've heard of scanners before?
I have one, but mine does not look like that one.
No, typically they're the flatbed scanners. You know, you take the lid up and you put your paper in or your photo and you scan it.
Yeah.
You probably even have one on your printer.
I do.
Do you ever use it?
Not really.
No. Those are great for doing things like documents and photos. Some of them you can scan negatives and slides, but I find the quality isn't that great. There's typically a lot of dust and scratches and little artifacts on them. Mm-hmm. So you want something that has super high resolution. This one's from PlusTech. It's their optic film scanner. This allows us to scan at what's called 7200 DPI.
What is DPI?
Excellent question. DPI stands for dots per inch. So when this is scanning, for every inch, it's actually scanning 7,200 dots. So the more dots you have, the more high resolution that scan's going to be. So this one scans not only slides, you can see it's got the little slide adapter here, but it also will scan negatives. And you know, lots of people have hundreds, if not thousands of negatives.
That's great.
So you basically put it into the unit itself here. You can see this comes up here and you put the negative in. We then slide it into the side here, and it's a little finicky. I had to kind of monkey around with it a bit, but as you're pushing it in, you can kind of feel the little notches as they're catching.
All right.
So once that's done, we go to the software, and I've already installed it to make things a little faster. And it's called the SilverFast software. And the nice thing is that we can actually adjust so many things here. Like if you're an avid photographer and like to adjust all the exposures and stuff, you can do that. If you're just kind of like me, you probably want it automatic.
Okay.
So what we can do here, I'm just going to show you some of the settings. Here's the DPI. You can take it right up to 7,200 if you want, or you can take it down even lower as well.
Why would you take it down lower?
It comes down to the file size. So if you're scanning a photo in at 7,200 DPI, you can see that one picture is going to be about 382 megabytes, which is pretty large. You could basically fit almost 2 of those photos into 1 gigabyte. So you can see how that starts taking up a lot. So if you don't need the high resolution to blow them up into big poster size, you can scale it down to save some of the hard drive space. So once we choose that, we also can choose whether we're scanning a negative in or a slide. In the menu here, it refers to the slides as positives. You know, negatives, they're kind of a reverse image.
Yes.
Well, slides, if you hold them up, they look like mini photos.
Yes.
So they're a positive. So essentially what we do now, I'm just going to hit the scan and away it goes. So the higher the resolution, the more time it's going to take. And I find that it does take a little bit of time. So what it's doing is it's actually scanning multiple exposures. And this is important because a lot of these you're going to find they have dust and scratches and stuff.
Okay.
By doing that, it's going to find the best exposure, and it's built into the hardware. It'll automatically remove all that dust and stuff as well.
Awesome.
And look at that. Now it's living inside your computer.
That's awesome.
When's the last time you saw that photo?
5 years ago.
Well, the nice thing is we've got it in the computer now. The next thing is we can go in and retouch it if we want.
Okay.
And the best part, I'm going to show you how you can share it too.
Thank you very much.
Be sure to visit GetConnectedMedia.com for videos, reviews, contests, and much more.
Now, there are hundreds of apps you can download to edit and enhance your photos. 2 of our favorite ones are PhotoFX and Retro Camera. PhotoFX is a great app that's also a Macworld 4-star winner. And what's great about this app is that you can utilize it to enhance and edit your photos just like the professionals do. It has 76 preset filters containing 878 presets. Different optical choices also include film grain, extracting color correction, natural lighting, photographic effects, and on top of that, it also has a very clever painting system. This app is great for photo enthusiasts. You can edit your photos and share them with your family and friends. I would say the only downfall is that it's a little complicated to learn how to use it first, but once you get the hang of it, it's a piece of cake. Our next app is Retro Camera, and just like the title suggests, it processes your photos just like back in the day, old school style. This app is great because it allows you to process your pictures using different vintage camera styles, filters, and color options. Despite the fact that the Retro Camera app does save your edited photos in low resolution, it still is one of our favorite photo apps. PhotoFX and the Retro Camera can make your photos look picturesque. And now that's your app look.
After the break, what's free and gives you a lot of Photoshop's features? You've got to see this. Also, we take a bite out of the iPhone 4, where a world of photo possibilities await.
Once you have all your old photos in your computer, I'm going to show you a couple things you can do with them, especially if you need to do things like touch them up. Came across a program called Paint.net. What I liked about it, it was absolutely free, and essentially what you'd use it for is to replace the Microsoft Paint program that comes with your computer if you're using a Windows-based computer. I've got it loaded up here, and let me just show you what I mean. I've got 3 photos loaded in here, and on the first one, we're going to look at this black and white photo that we have of a young girl with a horse. And what I'm going to do first is show you how to select an area that I want to crop. I simply just crop the image. So now I've got the area that I like, the photo that I want to have, and then I can actually go up and put some effects on it here. I'm going to put an effect called sepia. So now we've got it cropped to the image that we want and a cool effect. The next thing that I want to show you, we've got a photo of Kim and her baby here. And as you can see, it has a lot of scratches and there's a lot of noise in the photo. I'm going to show you a nifty little tool. If you use your little toolbar over here and click on the clone stamp tool. What we do is by selecting an area that's good, we simply just clone it and then stamp out the area we want to get rid of. You see how simple that is? If I zoom back out here, you can see that we've got this nice clean photo now. We got rid of a lot of those scratches and marks. Last one I want to show you, this is a picture that's overexposed. We've scanned this one in and let's face it, it's not a great photo. So I'm going to show you how we can go into things like adjustments. We're going to start with brightness and contrast. Simply by adjusting the brightness or the contrast, you can quickly see how I might get some detail back in that photo. Well, let's take that one step further. I'm gonna go to this tool called Curves. Now what this does is this allows me to drag a line that has sort of an inverse relationship between the brightness and the contrast, and you can see here how I can manipulate it so that I can get certain areas of the photo with rich, rich detail and other areas that still have that sort of misty effect. Now that we have all 3 photos all touched up, I want to show you some things you can do, like print them. We're going to take a look today at the Canon multifunction printer. It's called the MG8120. And if you have the desk space, this is definitely a photo printer that you might want to take a look at. First of all, we've printed out that photo that we touched up, that first one with the little girl and the horse. And as you can see here, we've cropped that in and we've added that sepia effect. Now this is a beautiful photo. This would be something I'd recommend you frame and actually put on the wall in your house. That way anyone who comes over gets to see it. They don't have to crowd around your computer. Another thing I liked about this photo printer, if we open up the top here, we've been talking a lot today about things like slides and film. Well, if I click this off, it has a built-in slide and negative scanner in it. And that's pretty cool. I thought that was a neat function because usually you have to order those attachments separate. I'm just gonna close that up here. Another thing that I liked, video CDs or photo CDs is something that you can easily share with like your parents or your grandparents. Well, this printer can actually print an image and text right onto the CD itself. I'll show you how that works. First of all, you'll need a CD with a printable surface, and once you have that, you simply put it into the tray here like this, and now inside the printer here, if I pull this little lever down, you can see there's another tray there. I'm gonna slide in my CD tray, nice and easy here. I want to line up those 2 arrows. Once I've done that, the printer does all the rest. Simply just choose the photo I want to print onto it and the text that I want to write, and it's that simple. So if you want to touch up your photos, take a look at paint.net. It's absolutely free. And if you want to do some fun, cool printing, check out this multifunction printer from Canon. This is the MG8120.
Tune in to us on Get Connected Radio every Saturday on the Chorus Radio Network. So unless you've been living under a rock for the past little while, you've probably heard of the iPhone 4. Wanted to go through some of the features of the new model. The screen itself has been bumped up as far as the resolution. Apple calls it the Retina display, so it is able to deliver more colors more crisply as far as the icons, the graphics, and even when you're looking at some of the pictures. So we've been talking about photos today on the show, and especially digital photography, and that's one thing that really has been upgraded on the iPhone 4. It's now a 5-megapixel digital camera. It also has a built-in flash as well, and the HDR options for better photos. Or you can switch it over into the video mode as well, which is a nice feature. I can take high-definition video at up to 720p. So if you've got a big screen television, it takes some half-decent video. And from the phone itself, you can actually upload the clips that you take right up to YouTube, or you can even edit them with the iMovie application. So you can do some basic edits and make your masterpiece. With the new iOS 4, you've got a unified email inbox, and that's very handy if you've got several different email accounts. In the older version, you actually had to I got an email. You actually had to go into the separate email boxes to check the new mail. Well, with this one, they all go into one email box. And the nice feature too is that when you do reply to any of those messages, it'll of course remember which account that it went into. One more feature I like is the multitasking. So in the past, when you were running a program, when you're finished and exited out, it stopped running that program. You couldn't run concurrent ones at the same time. So now, just by doing a double tap on the home screen, it'll actually show all the programs that you can have running at the same time. So for example, I could have Skype and my email and even the camera application running at the exact same time, so I could just switch back and forth between them very easily and quickly. And the reason why you'd probably want some of them running at the same time, for example, Skype, you know, if people are trying to call you, they're not going to get through if the program's not running. Well, let's have a look at the FaceTime video chatting feature now. And this is kind of one of my favorites. I love that you can now finally video conference with a smartphone. So you simply go into your phone dialer. And there he is, Andy. I know he happens to have an iPhone 4. And that's important. The other person has to have either the iPhone 4 or the iPod Touch that has that capability. So I simply hit the FaceTime button, and what it's doing right now is dialing Andy's phone. And you have to keep in mind as well that it does have to be on a Wi-Fi network on both sides. It's not working over the cellular network at this point yet. And, oh, you're not Andy. Where's Andy?
Andy stepped out for lunch. How are you, Mike?
Good, how you doing? This is Christiane. And how do you like the new FaceTime?
It's great. I really like it.
Like seeing my smiling face?
Always.
Oh. She has to say that. Well, we'll see you later, okay?
Okay, see you later.
Bye. So another couple quick things. I have heard from a lot of people that they think this is bigger and heavier than the previous model. But you know what? If you do get a chance to have both of them in your hands, this one here, believe it or not, is actually thinner than the previous model and just a tiny bit smaller. And as far as weight, they're actually the same weight. This one just feels a little more solid, which I think is kind of a nice feature. Another thing too, they do have kind of the glass faceplate on both sides. I get a little bit nervous about that, but I solved that by just getting a case, and there's so many of these cases out on the market now, and kind of snazz it up here. Again, it's the iPhone 4 from Apple. If you want to have a look at some of those cool new features as far as the multitasking, the unified inbox, and the video chatting, this is definitely a phone to have a look at. Coming up, AJ walks Frank the dog and gives a how-to on slow-mo video in a hot new SLR. And I walk you through Flickr, photo uploading and sharing for everyone. We've looked at using technology to make the old into the new. Here's some other things that can do the trick. With the advent of e-readers and text recognition in apps such as Evernote, there's little need for note-taking anymore. Don't be surprised if years down the road, holding pen and paper feels as strange as putting a needle to vinyl. Speaking of vinyl, USB turntables make it easy to get those old records you can't find on CD into your computer and on a little paperclip-sized player. Wireless HDMI is a hot new trend, and wireless interfaces are everywhere. In years to come, don't be surprised if even your power plug vanishes from your devices. Remember floppy disks, hard disks, CDs, and DVDs? Now it's in the cloud where MC Hammer can't even touch this. Programs like Dropbox make all our stuff here, there, and everywhere. Remember pushing buttons to phone someone? Well, that's going to feel as antiquated as Brill Cream soon enough, with touchscreens and voice recognition becoming the preferred way to make a call.
Gotta get connected.
Well, I've come out to the dog park today with Frank, and we're going to show you something cool that you can do with video if you have a digital SLR camera that's capable of shooting video. We're looking at the Canon EOS 7D camera here, and they use this camera in feature films as well as on major TV shows like House. What I want to show you today is how you can actually set the camera up to do slow motion video. First thing you want to do is go into the menu of your camera. By default, you'll see here that it's set at 1920 by 1080 at 24p. What we're going to do is we're going to up the setting to 60. And by upping it to 60, what that does is it's going to give us a lot more frames per second, but when we slow it down, we're going to slow it down to 24p, maintaining that film-like effect that you want. The next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to adjust your shutter speed. This number here, the 60, we're going to want to take that up to 125. You'll notice it's letting less light into the lens of the camera, so I'm just going to slightly adjust my aperture mode up here a little bit just to allow enough light in so that we get a good shot of Frank. So here, Frank, go get it. And I'll just press stop on the video there. Now, let's go into playback mode. I can play it back in 60 frames per second, or I have the ability to play it back in slow motion. So I'm gonna go for play mode to slow motion mode. And if you can see here, when I play it back in slow motion, I get that nice, smooth, 24 frame per second video that I would take if I was shooting regular speed video. That's a great tip if you want to shoot some action stuff and see it in slow motion mode and get the best quality picture using your high-end SLR camera, like a Canon EOS 7D. You can watch all of your favorite videos on YouTube on the GetConnected TV show channel.
So we're continuing our photo journey. Do you like that?
I love that.
We've got Kim's photos from her slides and negatives. A lot of them you have not seen for like 20 years.
That's right.
So right now, when you take a digital photo, how do you share it?
I would email it or put it up on Facebook.
So those are both great ways to share it. I want to show you another one that I really like, and it's called Flickr. Have you tried Flickr before?
No, I haven't tried it. I've heard of it, and I've seen other people's photos on there.
Cool. So Flickr is actually interesting. It was started by a Vancouver, Canada-based company. It was bought by Yahoo a few years ago. But literally, there are billions and billions of photos uploaded to the site. And what I like about it is that it's super easy to use, and I find it a little more versatile when it comes to uploading groups of photos as well. So we've set up an account already. We're going to go to upload now. Kind of similar to Facebook and a lot of the other ones out there.
Okay.
Choose photos and videos. So the free account on Flickr allows you to upload up to 100 megabytes of photos a month.
Okay.
But if you upgrade to the Pro version, this is kind of cool. For 25 bucks a year, you can upload unlimited. So you know what I use it for? I use it to back up all my photos. So it's not just stuck on my laptop or my desktop computer.
Good idea.
So we're going to go to libraries. I know that's where we've put some of the pictures. And we're going to select some of them. We're going to select Deception Pass and Hannah and Chip.
Okay.
And this is important. We can set the privacy level. So we can open it up to everyone. But since they're family photos, you probably don't want to do that.
No.
So this is nice. You select private, and then you can say visible to friends or family or both.
Awesome.
And you know what? If you do this, you can always change it later.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter. So we're going to hit upload photos. And right now, it's starting to upload them off of our laptop up to the Flickr site. Once they're up there, it's kind of like what they call the cloud.
Okay.
And once they're up there, you can access them from any internet-connected computer or device, you know, like an iPhone or a lot of these other set-top boxes now as well.
Nice.
Which is kind of cool. So once they're uploaded, they go into what's called your photo stream. And see, there they are.
There they are.
And another nice thing is that you can tag the photos. I'm just going to click on this one. This is beautiful. Right here on the right-hand side, we can add a tag. And this is a great way to keep them organized. So, for example, if you have a trip to Greece or maybe the kids' summer barbecue, you can tag them so it's easier to put them in groups and find them later.
Oh, okay.
So here we'll just write summer vacation, and from that point forward, that'll actually be embedded invisibly into the photo so that you can find it easier.
Oh, okay.
If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got the photos in, and we've tagged a few. What we want to do now is share them, right? Because you want your family to see them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And your friends. So you can go to the contacts, and this is kind of cool because you can find other friends that are on Flickr and start adding them so that you can see their photos. And at the same time, you can invite them or invite others to see your photos as well. And it's as simple as hitting the invite button. We type in their email address, their name, and then whether this person is a friend or family or both.
Okay.
And once you do that, you send out this little invitation. It does it automatically for you. And that way, anytime you upload new photos, they'll get a little notice and they can go check it out.
Nice.
That's basically it. I mean, you obviously want to go in and explore it some more, but it's pretty simple to get up and sharing them.
Yes, it's very easy.
So hopefully we've solved your problem. We've got your negatives and your slides out of the dusty old box.
Yes.
We've retouched them and got them into the computer, and now you can share them.
Awesome. Thank you.
Let's see what else we can do. We can even create some calendars here. I'll show you.
Wow. I learned that it's quite easy to take my old memories and turn them into new ones. I think Flickr will be a great way to upload some of my pictures here. I haven't really used it in the past, but it looks like something I could use quite easily.
That's all the time we have left for this episode of Get Connected. Join us next time where we'll, of course, show you the latest and greatest new gadgets.
Oh, that's it? That's our send-off?
That's it.
Huh. No jokes?
Nope.
Huh. Usually a bit funnier than that.